Hey, everybody, it's Rokana and Kathleen here from the Flower Essence podcast. And we are continuing our series by answering a question at a time, just to give you a little bit more information on flower essences and how they are used. And today we wanted to just tackle the topic why use flower essences? Why use them over another modality in the complementary and alternative medicine world? There's a lot out there to choose from. So what would make flower essences to be a good option for you or to have in your healing toolbox? So Kathleen, what are your thoughts on this?
So many thoughts. I like this question because it does help us start differentiating when an essence might be incredibly valuable versus some other kind of a modality might be valuable. And there's so much overlap in the world of healing and herbal medicine, and there's so many different options. So I like this question a lot, which helps us to help you define when an essence is like, yes, that is the thing to help you with this problem. I got into essences when I wanted to find some help for my birds, my parrots, because they're delicate creatures and you can't be screwing around, and you could potentially harm them. And so my initiating interest in essences was that because it's something that there is no potential for harm. So anytime you use an essence, you don't have to worry, is there something that's going to hurt my beloved, whether my beloved is a little furry creature or a feathered creature or a human creature or myself. So they're totally safe, easy to use. There's no potential for harm. That is, for me, that was the initial and most attractive feature of flower essences. There are many others. What in your realm, how do you like to think about essences versus other things?
Yeah, well, to me, in my story, I really sort of got into using them on a regular basis when I was getting off of chemical anxiety medicine that was causing a lot of dependency and havoc in my life. So not to say that that doesn't have its time and place, but for me, it just turned into basically an addiction and it wasn't really getting me anywhere. So flower essences seemed to do that. It seemed to, and I didn't know anything really about them at the time, but they seemed to really move the bar in helping me to make other choices and deal with the, panic when it came. And then after I learned more about myself and as being a highly sensitive person and having a hard time with pharmaceuticals, that them being, I have a lot of side effects from a lot of pharmaceuticals. They seem to be very hard on my system. And of course, I turned to herbs and became an herbalist. So it's not just, pharmaceuticals or flower essences or herbs. Each situation and each person, and it has its time and place, and there's room for all of them. um, Even with herbs and herbal medicine, I can be sensitive to that too. So flower essences are a great option for that. But what I really love and appreciate about flower essences is how they're working on a different level. They're working on this psycho-spiritual, emotional level. It's not a direct physical effect. So, you can be combining them with things that have a direct physical effect if you're having an acute physical problem. Um, but not everything is an acute physical problem or even a chronic physical problem. And so the way that the essences work with that other layer of what's happening and the triggers and the root causes of what's happening currently in your life, to me, is just an amazing reason to incorporate them into your wellness toolbox.
Full agreement with that. I love how you've defined it and helped to illuminate that topic for me. That when I was using essences and I was interested in them, and then when I finally really realized how much shame was driving my life, how much shame was this huge, just immovable object in my day-to-day experience, I started looking at some essences for that. And the way that essences can move these invisible, intangible, sufferings that we experience, it's extraordinarily how well they work and how accurately they can work. So for me, essences, that is like the biggest gift, is that they're able to help us shift these things that I just don't know that many other things can do. There are certainly some other techniques, but boy, essences absolutely hit the mark for that. And I know that a lot of times a lot of anxiety is sparked underneath. I don't know in your circumstance, is sparked by that, by guilt and shame. And for me, that was definitely really profound. And to have that relief, oh my God, my life got so much better. And I've only just been so engaged in, I adore essences so much. So I love spreading the word about essences and how they can help us overcome these things.
Yeah, absolutely. And to me, they're really helpful in the arena of lifestyle modification. So that's such a key part of any wellness of becoming healthier, becoming healing whatever is going on with you. Really to be the most effective, there's going to be some sort of lifestyle modification. Um, and I feel like that's an area that essences really shine. So, in the herbalist world, um, in all of the modalities where there's like a physical medicine that somebody takes to try to solve a health problem, a lot of times there is an underlying, thing that somebody's maybe eating the wrong foods, or sitting in a chair all day and not getting enough movement. All these things that we want to sort of have a shortcut for because they're harder to do. um, but really, you can take all the herbs and pharmaceuticals you want, but if you don't make the changes that are causing the problem, it can, you cannot not be effective. So the flower essences, I think they really, and we don't talk about this a lot actually on the show, but I think that they really help with changing your behavior and giving you that insight into those behaviors and helping you really create the change for the healthy things that and the self-care that that will help you move the bar on the health challenges.
Fantastic. This is a good Q&A little segment. I'm really glad that we took the opportunity to sort of pop this one open, because it's such a good question for people to recognize when you've found the right modality. So thanks so much for doing this. Thanks for listening. And we hope that if you have questions, you will submit them into the YouTube's comment box, and follow us on the socials. We're on Facebook and Instagram, as well as YouTube, of course. And so if you have questions, let us know, and we'd love to answer them for you. Hope to see you on the Flower Essence podcast.
Bye bye now.